Ever wondered why Caitlin Clark stirs up so much buzz and backlash in the WNBA? Today, we're diving into the tensions and triumphs behind her rise. From her standout performances to the complex dynamics with other players, get the full scoop right here on Sport TV. Hello, sports fans! In the world of women's basketball, generational talents don't just bring skills. They bring seismic shifts in popularity and economic prospects. Before Caitlin Clark burst onto the scene with her headline-grabbing performances, players like Skylar Diggins once carried the mantle. Diggins wasn't just a player, she was a potential gold mine for the older WNBA players, a symbol of both opportunities and, unfortunately, target for animosity. This isn't new, it's a pattern. Let's take a closer look at how Diggins was treated to understand the current atmosphere surrounding Caitlin Clark. The disdain some WNBA players show towards new stars like Caitlin Clark isn't just about personal grievances. It's deeply rooted in economic realities and expectations. For instance, Skylar Diggins faced challenges that went beyond the court. While on maternity leave, despite receiving her full salary, she was allegedly denied access to the team's practice facilities and other resources, highlighting a lack of support from the organization. This incident isn't just about logistics, it's a reflection of a larger sentiment that sometimes permeates the league. Caitlin Clark's rise comes at a crucial time for the WNBA. Her performances are not just game-changing on the court, but are also set to potentially transform the league's viewership and financial dynamics. The Las Vegas Aces' decision to move their game to a larger arena in anticipation of Clark's draw, despite her not being drafted yet, speaks volumes. This kind of shift is reminiscent of the early impacts of NBA greats, a rare phenomenon in the WNBA. During a broadcast on an Iowa vs. UConn game, underlying tensions surfaced. Comments made on air and on social platforms hinted at a dismissive attitude towards Clark's prowess, choosing instead to highlight other players despite Clark's evident impact. Such moments are telling. They reflect a reluctance from some established players to acknowledge the rising star's potential to elevate the league's profile. The media plays a crucial role in shaping perceptions, often prioritizing narratives that generate the most viewer engagement rather than a balanced view of player performance. This phenomenon was evident during Clark's games, where despite her stellar performances, broadcasts sometimes underplayed her success to focus on more contentious or dramatic storylines. This selective highlighting can exacerbate feelings of jealousy and resentment among players who feel overshadowed or unfairly critiqued. It also influences fan perceptions, potentially skewing public support in ways that do not accurately reflect the athlete's true contributions and skills on the court. In light of the criticisms and pressures, Clark's approach has been commendable. She focuses on the support of her close circle, her teammates, coaches, and family. This internal support system is her anchor, allowing her to navigate the complexities of her ascent in professional basketball. Her maturity is evident when she discusses not needing to score every point or being perfect in every game, but rather contributing effectively to her team's dynamics. Consider the treatment of male athletes in similar scenarios. NBA players often publicly support emerging talents, understanding that new stars are vital for the sport's growth and prosperity. This supportive culture seems less pronounced in the WNBA, where economic anxieties and limited opportunities can unfortunately translate into resentment towards newcomers who are seen as threats rather than assets. In contrast to the WNBA, the NBA often celebrates the arrival of emerging talents, recognizing their role in energizing the fan base and enhancing the game's appeal. This cultural difference is evident in how veteran NBA players mentor rookies, publicly praise their potential, and support their development, fostering a sense of community and continuity within teams. Such practices are less visible in the WNBA, where the smaller economic pie and intense competition for limited resources can lead to a more insular and competitive atmosphere. This environment can make it challenging for newcomers to feel welcomed and for the league to cultivate a culture of mutual support and shared success. The economic implications are significant. While college male athletes like Jared McCain secure lucrative deals, many WNBA players struggle for visibility and endorsements. Clark's potential for drawing attention and sponsorships to women's basketball could be transformative, yet this is the crux of the tension. Her success highlights the existing disparities within the league. The financial landscape of the WNBA contrasts starkly with the NBA, where even less prominent players might earn significantly more than top-tier women's league athletes. This economic gap is highlighted by the structure of endorsement deals and sponsorship opportunities, which are far less lucrative in the WNBA. For players like Clark, who bring considerable media attention, the potential to bridge this gap is enormous. However, her rise also underscores the existing financial inequalities that players face, with many unable to secure endorsements that reflect their skill and marketability. This disparity not only fuels internal league tensions, but also challenges the sustainability and growth of women's professional basketball. As Caitlin Clark continues to shatter records and draw crowds, the real test will be whether the WNBA as a community can embrace her rise as a tide that lifts all boats. Her ability to attract new fans and sponsors is undeniable. And while it may stir envy, it also presents an opportunity for all players to benefit. The league's growth depends on its ability to celebrate new talents like Clark, rather than diminish them. Caitlin Clark's ascent represents a pivotal moment for the WNBA to leverage her popularity for broader benefits across the league. Success stories like hers can be instrumental in negotiating better broadcast deals and attracting more substantial sponsorships that benefit all players. Moreover, Clark's appeal could lead to increased ticket sales and greater international attention, setting a precedent for how star power can enhance the league's profile. If the WNBA community can collectively support her and other emerging talents, it could catalyze a transformative period for the sport, where growth is not seen as a zero-sum game but as a collective advancement towards greater recognition and prosperity. In conclusion, the animosity some WNBA players hold towards Caitlin Clark isn't just about sports. It's about survival, visibility, and the future of the league. As viewers and fans, recognizing these dynamics helps us understand the pressures these athletes face both on and off the court. Let's discuss further in the comments. How can the WNBA foster a more supportive culture that capitalizes on the talents of stars like Caitlin Clark to enhance the league for everyone? As always, we're eager to hear your thoughts. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our videos like this. Remember, every new player brings a chance for growth, not just for themselves but for the entire league. Thanks for watching!